Not a good spot for you, man. Gotta go find a plant. Come on. No. Okay, there you go. The original plan for today was to film a ride on another trail, but when I scouted it a few days ago, it wasn't in any condition for riding. That will have to wait until next week. Luckily, the trail that I was going to ride next week is open and dry, so I shifted my schedule slightly. Today I'm going to show you the Rogers Lake Connector. This trail is connected to Fort Tuthill by a forest road. I know I said that this series was going to be about trails inside the park, but this trail is connected to the park, so I figure it's fair game. The dirt road goes past an archery range and then up into an area frequented by campers and dirt bikers. It's really easy to miss where the trail crosses the road, so if you do go on this ride, I would recommend bringing a map or to go with someone who knows the trail. There used to be a sign there, but someone broke the post a while ago and it never got replaced. Rogers Lake Connector starts off on a slightly uphill grade that twists its way between the pine trees. There are small rocks in the trail that can catch an unwary rider by surprise. The rocks are not overly technical, but they force you to stay on your toes and pick good lines. This goes on for a few miles, and it's a good warm-up for the climb ahead. I vividly remember the first time that I rode this trail. It was the last day of summer vacation last summer, and I had just switched to clipless pedals the previous afternoon. For those of you who aren't familiar with clipless pedals, they lock your feet to the bike. They can improve your power quite a bit because you can pull on the upstroke, but they also require you to twist your heel out away from the bike in order to free your foot. I was just used to lifting my foot off the pedal, so you can probably see that this led to some issues with staying upright when I stopped. I ended up crashing twice on the climb and tearing my legs up pretty badly. The next day at school, my chemistry teacher asked me if I'd gotten mauled by a big cat or crashed on a bike. He seemed surprised when I told him that I'd crashed on my bike, so I guess I didn't realize how bad the band-aids looked to him. In order to get to Rogers Lake, the trail switchbacks up the side of a large hill. On the climb, there are two stages, separated by a section of trail like what I started out on. The first is a set of a few steep switchbacks that end with a technical climb. If you pick a good line before the turn, then you are in really good shape. The next part is technical because you have to push up a short, steep climb and then pop your front tire over a rock in the middle of the trail. The trick to this section is to first switch into a higher gear than you'd normally be in, and then also use the run-up to build enough speed to clear the rock. There is an alternate line around this feature, so I tested that out as well. Instead of going over the rock in the center of the trail, you go high on the left over the slick rock sections. I'm torn over which one of these I prefer, but if you ever get a chance to try it, let me know which one is more fun for you. The second stage of the climb does not last for very long, and it's much less technical than the one before it. Earning the descent is always the best part. Technical sections like these are really fun on a climb, but they're even better on the descent. On this channel, I like to show you guys the good and bad parts about mountain biking, so you can get a more full picture of the sport. In previous videos, I've been fortunate enough to show you a lot of really good stuff, but now I've got to show you some bad stuff. This wipeout was entirely my fault, mainly because I should have seen the guy coming up the trail much sooner than I did, and I should have moved over for him. After that, everything went pretty smoothly. I promise I'll throw some tissues in my pocket for next week so you won't have to listen to me and my wonderful allergies for the entire ride. Features like these make me really glad that I had a dropper post installed on my bike so I can get my seat down and out of the way. After I got back to the dirt road that leads back to Tuthill, I crossed it and followed the same trail going the opposite direction. The dirt road intersects with Rogers Lake Connector at about the trail's halfway point, so you can follow it back the other way like I did. The trail is mostly the same twisty single track. About a mile later you come to a three-way intersection. If you want to go back to Woody Mountain Road, take the trail going left. The trail to the right leads back into Fort Tuthill and connects with Soldier's Trail, which I featured on the last video. The reason I took the left trail is because that trail leads to a parking area. Although I didn't drive, I think that the parking area would appeal to a lot of people who want to go on a fun bike ride, but not go on a 20+ mile bike ride like I do. You can park there and follow Rogers Lake Connector all the way to the end, and it would be about a 10 or 11 mile round trip. After I got to the parking lot, I rode onto Woody Mountain Road back to Flagstaff. If you continued out on Woody Mountain Road, about a mile later you get to the Flagstaff Arboretum. It has a giant greenhouse and it's a great place for hiking, watching birds, having picnics, and just being outdoors. Woody Mountain Road also meets up with Route 66 and then leads back into Flagstaff. My gimbal ran out of battery about halfway down the road, so I don't have any footage after that. I hope you all liked this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.